Emma lived in a house made of cold stone. Her family lived there too. But they never made it feel like home. Every morning her mother would look at her. Then she would frown. "Why can't you be more like your sister?" she would say. Emma's sister was named Grace. Grace had soft blonde hair. Grace had a sweet smile. Grace never spoke too loud. Grace never asked too many questions. But Emma was different. She had brown hair that would not stay neat. She had questions about everything. She laughed too loud. She spoke her mind. "You're too much," her father would say. Then he would walk away. Emma would stand there, alone. Her heart would break a little more each day. Well, Grace got new dresses. Grace got kind words. Grace got hugs and smiles. Emma got sharp looks. Emma got cold silence. Emma got told to be quiet. She would go to her room. She would look in her small mirror. "What's wrong with me?" she would think. "Why am I not enough?" Kite. Then one day, everything changed. A man came to their door. He wore fine clothes. He had papers in his hand. "Your debt must be paid," he said to her father. Emma watched from the stairs. Her father's face went white. Her mother started to cry. "We don't have the money," her father said. "Then we take what we agreed on," the man said. Because that night, Emma heard her parents talking. Their voices were low, but she could still hear. "Grace is too good for this," her mother said. "She deserves better." "Then who?" her father asked. "Emma," her mother said. Her voice was cold. "She's been nothing but trouble. Maybe this will teach her." Emma felt her world break apart. Her own mother, her own father, they would trade her away, like she was nothing. The next morning her mother came to her room. "Pack your things," she said. "We're getting married." "Married?" Emma asked. "To whom?" "A lord who lives far away," her mother said. "Maybe he can fix what's wrong with you." Emma felt sick. "But I don't want to get married." "What you want doesn't matter," her mother said. "This will save Grace from a terrible fate. At least you'll finally be useful." But Emma packed her few things. Her hands shook. Her heart felt empty. Grace came to say goodbye. She hugged Emma. She was crying. "I'm sorry," Grace whispered. "I wish things were different." "It's not your fault," Emma said. But inside, she wondered, why was Grace worth saving? Why wasn't she? Choice. The cart came at dawn. Emma climbed inside. She looked back at her home one last time. Her mother stood at the door. She didn't wave. She didn't cry. She just watched Emma leave. As the cart rolled away, Emma felt smaller and smaller. She was alone now. Truly alone. She was going to marry a stranger. A man who probably didn't want her either. But maybe that was all she deserved. His name was James. Lord James of the Northern Lands. People in town would whisper about him. "He keeps to himself," they would say. "He never comes to parties, he never smiled." Some said he was mean. Some said he was proud. Some said he just didn't like people. But the truth was different. The truth was, James was broken inside. Years ago, James had a family. He had a mother who sang to him. He had a father who taught him to ride horses. He had a little sister who followed him everywhere. They lived in a big house. They were happy. They had everything they needed. Then came the war. James was away. He was learning to be a lord in another town. When he came back, his family was gone. Bad men had come. They wanted his father's land. They wanted his father's money. When his father said no, they killed them all. James found their bodies. His mother, his father, his sweet little sister. He held his sister's small hand. It was cold. She would never laugh again. She would never follow him around. She would never grow up. That day James made a choice. He would never let anyone get close again. It hurt too much when they left. He built walls around his heart. He stayed alone. He was safe that way. Years passed. James lived quietly. He took care of his land. He was kind to his workers, but he never let anyone really know him. Then one day, a man came with a deal. "I have a daughter," the man said. "She needs a husband. You need a wife. We both win." James almost said no. He didn't want a wife. He didn't want love. Love meant pain. But then the man said something that changed James's mind. "She's not like other girls," the man said. "She's difficult. Her family doesn't know what to do with her." James saw the cruel look in the man's eyes. He knew that look. It was the same look the bad men had when they took his family. This girl, whoever she was in danger too. "I'll take her," James said. Not because he wanted a wife, but because he wanted to save her. He remembered his little sister. He couldn't save her. But maybe he could save this girl. Maybe he could give her what his family never got. Safety, peace, a chance to live. Saw her, but James didn't know what the girl looked like. He didn't care, pretty or plain. It didn't matter. What mattered was getting her away from people who saw her as difficult. What mattered was giving her a home where she wouldn't be hurt. James had money. He had land. He had power. But most of all, he had a gentle heart. Even if he kept it hidden, the girl was coming soon. He would be ready for her. He would keep her safe. Even if she never loved him back. Emma saw the big house first. It was made of gray stone. It had tall windows. It looked strong. It looked safe. But Emma was scared. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was beating fast. What if he was mean? What if he were cruel? What if he looked at her the way her family did? The cart stopped. Emma climbed out. Her legs felt weak. A man came out of the house. He was tall. He had dark hair. His clothes were simple but clean. This was James, her husband. Emma looked at the ground. She waited for harsh words. She waited for him to say she wasn't pretty enough. She waited for him to be angry. But the words never came. "You must be Emma," James said. His voice was quiet. It was kind. Emma looked up. His eyes were brown. They looked gentle. "Yes," she whispered. "I'm Emma." "You've had a long trip," James said. "You must be tired and hungry." Emma nodded. She was both of those things. "Come inside," James said. "Let me show you your home." Your home, not his home. Your home. No one had ever said that to Emma before. Inside, the house was warm. There was a fire in the big stone fireplace. There were soft chairs. There were books on shelves. It smelled like bread and herbs. It smelled nice. A woman came forward. She was older. She had kind eyes and gray hair. "This is Mary," James said. "She takes care of the house. She'll help you with anything you need." Mary smiled at Emma. "Welcome, my lady," she said. "I'm so glad you're here." My lady. Emma had never been called that before. James led Emma to a table. There was soup in a bowl. There was fresh bread. There was tea that smelled like flowers. "Please, eat," James said. "You must be hungry." Emma sat down. She picked up the spoon. Her hands were still shaking. James sat across from her. But he didn't stare. He didn't watch every bite. He just waited. "The soup is good," Emma said quietly. "Mary made it," James said. "She's the best cook in the north." Mary blushed and smiled. "Sasham." Emma ate slowly. She kept waiting for something bad to happen. For James to yell. For someone to tell her she was eating wrong. But nothing bad happened. James just sat there. Sometimes he would say something gentle. About the house. About the land. About how glad he was that she was safe. Safe. That word again. Cool. When Emma finished eating, James stood up. "Would you like to see your room?" he asked. "My room?" Emma asked. "Of course," James said. "You need your own space. Your own things." Emma followed James upstairs. Her heart was still beating fast. But now it was beating differently. Not scared. Something else. Hope? No. James opened a door. Inside was a beautiful room. There was a big bed with soft blankets. There was a window that looked out at gardens. There was a chair for reading. There was even a small desk. "This is yours," James said. "You can change anything you want. Add anything you need." Emma walked to the window. Outside, she could see flowers. She could see trees. She could see the sun setting behind hills. It was beautiful. It was peaceful. It was home. "The sound." "James?" Emma said quietly. "Yes." Emma turned around. She looked at his kind face. "Thank you." James smiled. It was small, but it was real. "No," he said. "Thank you. For being here. For giving this place life again." Emma didn't understand what he meant, but she could hear something in his voice. Something sad. Something lonely. Maybe they could help each other. Emma woke up the next morning in her soft bed. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she remembered. She was married now. She lived in this big house. With James. But what was she supposed to do? To send. Emma got dressed. She went downstairs. Mary was in the kitchen. She was making breakfast. "Good morning, my lady," Mary said. "Did you sleep well?" "Yes," Emma said. "But what should I do now?" Mary smiled. "Whatever you want to do," she said. "I don't understand," Emma said. "This is your home now," Mary said. "You're free to do as you please." Free. Emma had never been free before. Done. James came in from outside. His boots were muddy. His hands were dirty. "Good morning," he said to Emma. "I was checking on the animals." "You have animals?" Emma asked. "Horses, cows, chickens. Would you like to see them?" Emma nodded. She had always loved animals. But her mother said they were dirty. Her mother said ladies shouldn't go near them. But James was offering, maybe it was okay now. So James showed Emma around his land. There were fields of wheat. There were gardens full of vegetables. There were workers who smiled and waved. Everyone seemed happy. They all seemed to like you, Emma said. I try to treat them well, James said. Happy workers do better work. But more than that, they're good people. They deserve kindness. Emma thought about her old home. Her father was always angry with the workers. Her mother was always cold. But James was different. He knew everyone's name. He asked about their families. He cared. Lawn. They came to a garden full of herbs. Emma stopped. She knew some of these plants. My grandmother taught me about herbs, Emma said quietly. Before she died. Really? James asked. What did she teach you? Emma pointed to different plants. This one is good for headaches. This one helps you sleep. This one heals cuts. James listened. He didn't look bored, he looked interested. Would you like to take care of this garden? He asked. Emma's heart jumped. Could I? It's yours now, James said. All of this is yours. That afternoon, Emma worked in the herb garden. She pulled weeds. She watered plants. She remembered her grandmother's gentle hands. Mary came to check on her. You look happy, Mary said. Emma stopped. She was happy. For the first time in years, she was actually happy. I'd forgotten how good this feels, Emma said. Lord James will be pleased, Mary said. He's been hoping someone would love this garden again. What do you mean? Emma asked. Mary's eyes got soft. His mother loved this garden. She died when he was young. He's kept it alive all these years. But it needed a woman's touch. That night, Emma and James ate dinner together. Emma told him about the herbs, about what she remembered, about what she wanted to learn. James listened to every word. He asked questions. He made suggestions. There's a woman in town, he said. She knows more about healing herbs than anyone. Would you like to learn from her? You would let me do that? Emma asked. Let you, James said. Emma, you don't need my permission to learn, to grow, to become who you're meant to be. That. Emma felt tears in her eyes. Good tears. All her life, people had told her to be quiet, to be less, to hide who she was. But James wanted her to be more. He saw something in her that even she couldn't see. For the first time ever, Emma began to believe. Maybe she was worth something after all. Weeks passed. Emma's life began to change. Every morning she worked in the herb garden. The plants grew strong under her care. She remembered more of her grandmother's lessons. Mary taught her to cook. Not fancy food, but good food. Food that filled people up and made them smile. Emma learned to make bread. Her first loaves were hard as rocks, but James ate them anyway. He said they were getting better. Emma started visiting the town. At first she was scared. What if people stared? What if they whispered about her plain face? But something strange happened. People were nice. The baker's wife asked about her herbs. A mother asked if Emma had anything for her sick baby. An old man wanted help with his sore joints. They didn't care what Emma looked like. They cared about what she could do. Emma began to feel useful, important, needed. She made medicine for headaches. She grew vegetables that fed hungry families. She baked bread that brought people together. Her voice grew stronger. She spoke up in shops. She laughed with the women. She helped solve problems. People started calling her Lady Emma, not because she had to be called that, but because they respected her. One day, a little girl fell and cut her knee. She was crying. Her mother looked scared. Emma knelt down. She cleaned the cut. She put on a bandage made with healing herbs. There, Emma said gently. You're going to be fine. The little girl stopped crying. She hugged Emma tight. Thank you, Lady Emma, she whispered. Emma's heart felt so full. This was what she was meant to do. Help people. Care for them. James watched all of this. He saw Emma grow stronger every day. He saw her smile more. He saw her stand taller. One evening, they walked through the gardens together. You've changed, James said quietly. Emma looked at him. Is that bad? No, James said. His voice was soft. It's beautiful. You're becoming who you really are. Emma felt warm inside. I feel different. Stronger. Like I matter. You do matter, James said. You always did. Your family just couldn't see it. That night, Emma looked at herself in her mirror. The same brown hair, the same plain face, but something was different. Her eyes looked brighter. Her smile looked real. She was the same person. But she was also, she was Emma. Not the girl nobody wanted. Just Emma. And Emma was enough. Sat. The next morning brought a surprise. A letter came. It was from Emma's mother. Emma's hands shook as she read it. "We're coming to visit," the letter said. "We want to see how you're doing in your new life." Emma felt cold. Her mother was coming. The woman who had traded her away. The woman who had never loved her. What would her mother think of the new Emma? Would she try to make Emma small again? "Dad." James saw Emma's face go pale. "What's wrong?" he asked. Emma showed him the letter. James read it. His face got hard. "They can't hurt you anymore," he said firmly. "This is your home now. You're safe here." But Emma wasn't sure. Her mother's words had power over her. They always had. Could the new Emma stand up to the old pain? She was about to find out. As the days passed, something beautiful began to happen. Emma and James started to really see each other. It began with small moments. Emma would bring James tea while he worked. He would stop and smile. They would talk about the day, about the people they'd helped, about small things that mattered. James would pick flowers for Emma's herb garden. Not fancy roses. Just simple flowers that grew wild. But they were picked with care, with thought. One evening it rained hard. Emma and James sat by the fire. They talked quietly. "Can I ask you something?" Emma said. "Of course," James said. "Why did you really marry me?" "The truth." James was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke. "Because I knew what it felt like to be thrown away," he said. "To be seen as less than you are." Thied. James told Emma about his family. About losing them. About the lonely years after. "I built walls," he said. "I thought they would keep me safe, but they just kept me empty." Emma listened. Her heart hurt for him. For the little boy who lost everyone he loved. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Don't be sorry," James said. "You brought life back to this place, to me." Thied. Emma told James about her childhood. About always being second. About never being enough. "I used to think there was something wrong with me," she said. "There's nothing wrong with you," James said. His voice was firm. "You're kind. You're smart. You care about people. Those are gifts." Emma felt tears in her eyes. Good tears. "No one ever told me that before," she said. "Then they were blind," James said. "Die." Their hands were resting on the chair arms. Slowly James reached over. He touched Emma's hand with his fingers. Emma didn't pull away. His touch was warm, gentle. They sat like that. Hands touching. Hearts opening. Neither one said anything. They didn't need to. Something was growing between them. Something real. Something precious. The next morning Emma woke up feeling different. Light. Happy. She caught herself humming as she worked in the garden. Mary heard her and smiled. "You sound happy, my lady," Mary said. "I am happy," Emma realized. Really, truly happy. It had been so long since happiness felt real. Since it felt like something she deserved. James came to find her in the garden. He had dirt on his clothes from working in the fields. "The workers want to thank you," he said. "Thank me." "For what?" "Your bread fed Tom's family when money was short. Your herbs healed Sarah's baby. Your kindness made everyone feel valued." Emma felt proud. She had made a difference. She mattered to these people. "They want to have a celebration," James said. "In your honor." "Really?" Emma asked. "Really," James said. "Will you let them?" Emma nodded. For the first time in her life, people wanted to celebrate her. That evening, there was music in the great hall. The workers came with their families. They brought food to share. They brought smiles and laughter. Emma wore her best dress. It wasn't fancy, but she felt beautiful. James stood beside her. He looked proud, not of himself, of her. "Thank you, Lady Emma," Tom said. "You saved my family." "Thank you for the medicine," Sarah said. "My baby is strong now because of you." One by one, people thanked Emma. Each word made her feel more real, more worthy. Later, when everyone had gone home, Emma and James sat alone. "How do you feel?" James asked. "Like I found my place," Emma said. "Like I found myself." James took her hand. "And I found my heart again," he said quietly. Emma looked at him, really looked at him. His kind eyes, his gentle smile, the way he saw the best in everyone, especially in her. "James," she whispered. "Yes, I think I'm falling in love with you." "Fly." James's eyes got soft. "I know I'm falling in love with you," he said. They moved closer. Slowly, carefully. Their first kiss was gentle, sweet, full of promise. When they pulled apart, Emma felt like her heart might burst with joy. She had found love. Real love. the kind that saw her truly and loved her anyway. But more than that, she had found herself, and she was wonderful. 3 days later, the carriage arrived. Emma heard it first. The sound of horses, the creak of wheels. Her stomach dropped. They were here. Her family was here. Then Emma watched from her window. Her mother stepped out first, still beautiful, still cold. Her father came next. He looked older, tired. And then, Grace. Sweet, perfect Grace. Everything Emma had never been. Emma's hands started shaking. All her new confidence felt fragile, like it might break. James came to find her. He saw her pale face. "Remember who you are now," he said gently. "Remember what you've built here." Emma nodded. But inside, she felt small again, like the girl nobody wanted. They went downstairs together. James stayed close to Emma's side. "See?" Emma's mother looked around the great hall. At the fine furniture, at the warm fire, at the signs of wealth. "Well," she said, "this is better than I expected." Not hello, not how are you. Just judgment about the house. Emma felt the old familiar sting. "Mother," Emma said quietly. "Father." "Grace." Her father nodded. Grace smiled, but it looked sad. Her mother stared at Emma. "You look different." "Different how?" Emma asked. "I don't know," her mother said. "Bigger somehow. More. There." It wasn't a compliment. It was a concern. James stepped forward. "Welcome to our home," he said politely. Emma's mother looked James up and down. "So you're the one who took our problem off our hands." The words hit Emma like a slap. Problem. She was still just a problem to her mother. James's face went hard. "Emma is not a problem," he said. His voice was calm but firm. "She's a blessing." Emma's mother raised an eyebrow. "How? Interesting." They sat down to dinner. Mary had made a beautiful meal. The table was set with the best dishes. Emma's mother criticized everything. The food was too simple. The servants were too familiar. The house was too quiet. Emma felt herself shrinking with each word. Then Grace spoke. "Emma, you look happy," she said softly. Emma looked at her sister. Grace's eyes were sad. "Tired." "I am happy," Emma said. "Are you?" Grace's smile faltered. "Of course," she said, but her voice said something different. "But..." After dinner, Emma's mother wanted to speak with her alone. They went to Emma's sitting room. Her mother looked around with sharp eyes. "This is quite nice," she said. "You've done well for yourself." "Thank you," Emma said. Her mother sat down. "Now, let's talk about why we're really here." Emma waited. Her heart pounded. "Grace needs to marry," her mother said. "Someone with money. Someone important." "That's good for Grace," Emma said. "Yes, but..." Her mother paused. "The men Grace should marry, they want someone fresh. Someone who hasn't been used." Emma felt sick. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying we made a mistake," her mother said. "You should have stayed home. Grace should have married your husband." The words hit Emma like ice water. "You want to trade us back?" "Think about it," her mother said. "Your husband is rich. Grace would make him a better wife. And you could come home, where you belong." Emma stared at her mother. "Where do I belong?" "With us," her mother said. "Taking care of things, like you always did." "Need?" Emma felt the old chains wrapping around her. The old voice was saying she wasn't good enough, wasn't pretty enough, wasn't worth keeping. But then, something else rose up inside her. She thought about James, about his gentle hands and kind eye. She thought about the townspeople, about how they smiled when they saw her. She thought about her garden, her bread, her medicine, all the ways she helped. She thought about the woman she had become. "No," Emma said quietly. "What?" her mother asked. "No," Emma said louder. "I won't do it." Her mother's face went cold. "Don't be foolish, Emma. This is the best thing for everyone." "No," Emma said again. She stood up. "It's the best thing for you, for Grace, not for me." "Since when do you think about what's best for you?" her mother snapped. "Since I learned that I matter," Emma said. Her voice was getting stronger. "Since I learned that I'm worth something." "So," her mother laughed. It was a cruel sound. "I'm worth something?" "Emma, look at yourself. You're plain, you're loud, you're strange. That man doesn't really want you. He's just being kind." Each word was meant to cut, to make Emma small again. But Emma had changed. She had grown. She had learned to see herself through different eyes. "You're wrong," Emma said. "I am plain, but I'm also kind. I am loud, but I use my voice to help people. I am strange, but that makes me special, not broken." Her mother stood up. Her face was angry now. How dare you speak to me this way, she said. How dare you speak to me, the way you always have. Emma shot back. The room went silent. Emma had never talked back to her mother, never stood up for herself, never fought back, but she was fighting now. Fighting for the life she had built, the love she had found, the person she had become. You will come home with us, her mother said. Her voice was like ice. You will do as you're told, like you always have. Emma looked at her mother, really looked at her. She saw the fear behind the anger. Her mother was scared, scared of losing control. No, Emma said one more time. I am home. This is where I belong, with someone who sees my worth, with people who value what I bring. Her mother's mask slipped. You ungrateful girl. After everything we've done for you. What have you done for me? Emma asked. You traded me away. You called me a problem. You never once told me I was enough. Dad. Because you're not enough, her mother screamed. The words hung in the air. Ugly. Cruel. True to who her mother really was. Emma felt the words try to cut her, but they bounced off. She was stronger now. She knew who she was. Maybe I'm not enough for you, Emma said calmly. But I'm enough for me, and I'm enough for James. That's all that matters. She walked to the door. You can stay the night, but tomorrow you leave, and you don't come back. Emma left her mother standing there. Shocked, defeated, for the first time in her life. Emma had won. The next morning, Emma came down early. She wanted to face whatever came next with courage. She found James in his study. He was reading, but when he saw her face, he put the book down. How did it go with your mother? He asked. Emma told him everything. About the plan to trade her back, about the cruel words, about how she had finally stood up for herself. James listened. His face got darker with each detail. I'm proud of you, he said when she finished. Are you? Emma asked. Even though I was loud and rude, James stood up. He took her hands. You were strong, he said. You were brave. You were everything I fell in love with. To swallow. But what if she's right? Emma whispered. What if you would be happier with someone like Grace? James cupped Emma's face gently. Look at me, he said. Emma looked into his eyes. I don't want someone like Grace, James said. I want you. Your laugh that fills this house with joy. Your hands that heal and help. Your heart that sees the best in everyone. Emma felt tears coming. Good tears. Grace is lovely, James continued. But she's not you, and you are exactly who I choose. Every day. Forever. They heard voices in the hall. Emma's family was awake. Are you ready? James asked. Emma took a deep breath. Yes, she said. I'm ready. They went to the dining room together. Emma's family was eating breakfast. The mood was cold. Emma sat down. She held her head high. Good morning, she said. Her father nodded. Grace smiled sadly. Her mother said nothing. We've decided, her mother said finally. You'll come home with us today. No, Emma said simply. I won't. You don't have a choice, her mother said. Yes, I do, Emma said. I'm a grown woman. I make my own choices now. Her mother's face got red. You belong to us. I belong to myself, Emma said, and I choose to stay here, with my husband. In my home. Her father spoke up. Emma, be reasonable. Think about Grace's future. I have thought about it, Emma said. Grace is beautiful. She's sweet. She'll find someone who loves her for who she is. Just like I did. But the money, her father started. Is not my problem, Emma finished. You made your choices. Deal with them yourself. Grace had been quiet through all of this. Now she looked up. Emma's right, she said softly. Everyone stared at Grace. What? Her mother snapped. Emma's right, Grace said again, stronger this time. Look at her. She's happy. She's alive. I've never seen her like this. Grace, don't be foolish, her mother said. I'm not being foolish, Grace said. I'm being honest. We treated Emma badly. We threw her away. And look what happened. She found love. Real love. Grace turned to Emma. I'm sorry, she said. Tears were in her eyes. I'm so sorry for what we did to you. For what I let happen. Emma's heart softened. It's not your fault, Grace. Yes, it is, Grace said. I should have stood up for you. I should have protected you. Instead, I let them use you to save me. Emma reached across the table. She took Grace's hand. We were both trapped, Emma said gently. But we can choose different paths now. Their mother was furious. I will not sit here and listen to this nonsense. She stood up. Come, Grace, we're leaving. Now, Grace looked at her mother. Then, at Emma. Then back at her mother. No, Grace said quietly. What did you say? Her mother asked. I said no, Grace repeated. I want to talk to Emma. Alone. About things. Their mother's face went white with rage. But she couldn't control Grace the way she used to control Emma. Grace was starting to find her own voice too. After their parents left the room, Grace and Emma sat together. I envy you, Grace said softly. Envy me? Emma asked. Why? Because you're free, Grace said. You broke away. You found yourself. I'm still trapped. Emma squeezed Grace's hand. You don't have to be trapped forever. It's different for me, Grace said. Everyone expects me to be perfect. Sweet, quiet. I don't know how to be anything else. Start small, Emma suggested. Say no to one thing, then another. Find what makes you happy. Grace smiled. A real smile this time. You've changed so much. You're so strong now. I had help, Emma said. She looked at James, who was sitting quietly nearby. I had someone who believed in me. I want that too, Grace whispered. I want someone to love the real me, not just the pretty, perfect me. You'll find it, Emma said. But first you have to find yourself. Dad. Later that morning, Emma's family prepared to leave. Her father was quiet. Her mother was angry. But Grace looked different, more awake. Emma hugged each of them goodbye. Even her mother, though it was cold and brief. This isn't over, her mother whispered in Emma's ear. Yes, it is, Emma whispered back. As the carriage rolled away, Emma felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She had faced her past. She had stood up to the voices that said she wasn't enough. And she had won. James put his arm around her. How do you feel? He asked. Emma leaned into him. Free, she said. Finally, completely free. They stood there together, watching the carriage disappear. The girl nobody wanted was gone forever. In her place stood a woman who knew her worth. A woman who chose love over fear. A woman who had found her home. Emma was exactly where she belonged. Months passed. Emma's life grew richer every day. Her herb garden became famous throughout the region. People traveled from far towns to get her medicines. She helped children with fevers. She eased old people's pain. She saved lives. The townspeople didn't just respect Emma now. They loved her. They brought their troubles to her. They celebrated their joys with her. She had become the heart of the community.
Why?
Emma learned to read better. James taught her in the evenings by the fire. She read books about healing, about plants, about the world beyond their valley. Her mind grew as strong as her heart. She also learned to write. She kept notes about her medicines, about what worked, about new discovery. Mary said Emma was the smartest person she'd ever met. Book learning is fine, Mary said. But wisdom like yours, that's a gift. One day, a messenger came with news. There had been sickness in the next town. The local healer had died. People were suffering. We need help, the messenger said. We heard about Lady Emma, about her gifts. Emma looked at James. May I go? You don't need my permission, James said gently. But, yes. Go help them. I'm proud of you. Emma packed her medicines. She took her knowledge. She went to help strangers. For a week, she worked day and night. She saved dozens of lives. She taught local women about healing. When she came home, the whole town celebrated. They threw a feast in her honor. Our Lady Emma, they called her. The healer, the helper, the heart of our home. That night, Emma and James walked in their garden. The moon was full. The air smelled like flowers. I have something to tell you, Emma said. James stopped walking. What is it? Emma smiled. I'm with child. James's face lit up like sunrise. He picked Emma up and spun her around. Are you happy? Emma asked. I'm beyond happy, James said. I'm complete. They talked about their future, about the baby they would raise, about the love they would give their child. Our child will never doubt their worth, Emma said firmly. Never, James agreed. They'll know they're precious from the very first day. Emma put her hand on her belly. Inside, a new life was growing, a life that would know only love and acceptance. She thought about the girl she used to be, the one who felt worthless, who believed she was nobody's choice. That girl was still part of her, but she was transformed now, healed, whole. Dad. One evening a letter came. It was from Grace. Emma read it out loud to James. Dear Emma, it said, you were right. I had to find myself first. I broke my engagement to the man Mother chose. I'm learning to paint now. I'm learning to speak up. I'm learning to be. I met someone, a kind man, who loves my art, who loves my thoughts, who sees me as more than just pretty. Thank you for showing me what real love looks like, what real strength looks like. You saved me too, sister. Emma wiped happy tears from her eyes. Grace was free now too. See, the baby came in spring. A daughter with James's dark eyes and Emma's determined chin. They named her Hope. Emma held her daughter for the first time. This tiny perfect person who would never doubt her value. You are loved, Emma whispered. You are wanted. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. Hope opened her eyes. She looked right at Emma, and Emma swore the baby smile. Years passed. Hope grew strong and smart and kind. She learned healing from her mother. She learned gentleness from her father. She never knew what it felt like to be unwanted, to be traded away, to be less than enough, because she was raised by parents who knew their worth, who chose love over fear, who built a home on acceptance and grace. Emma became known throughout the land, not as the plain girl nobody wanted, but as the healer who saved lives, the woman who brought hope to the hopeless. She wrote a book about healing herbs. She taught other women her skills. She made the world a little better every day. One day, when Hope was 5, Emma found her daughter playing with dolls. This one is sad, Hope said, pointing to a plain wooden doll. The other dolls don't want to play with her. Emma's heart squeezed. Why not? They say she's not pretty enough, Hope said. Emma sat down beside her daughter. What do you think? Hope picked up the plain doll. I think she's perfect, Hope said. She just needs someone to see it. Emma smiled. You're absolutely right. Hope made the other dolls welcome the plain one. She made them see how special she was inside. Emma watched her daughter play. Hope was learning the most important lesson of all, that everyone has worth, that love sees beyond the surface, that kindness can transform everything. And that night, Emma looked at herself in her mirror. She had lines around her eyes now, gray threads in her hair. She was older, different than the young girl who had arrived years ago, but she was beautiful now, beautiful with purpose, beautiful with love, beautiful with the confidence that came from knowing who she was. She was Emma, wife, mother, healer, helper. She was the woman who had learned her worth, who had claimed her place, who had chosen love over fear. She was exactly who she was meant to be, and she was enough. More than enough. She was wonderful. 10 years had passed since that scared girl arrived at James's door. Now Emma stood in the same spot, but everything was different. The house was full of life now. Hope ran through the halls with her friends. Laughter echoed from every room. Emma's healing center welcomed sick people every day. She had trained 12 other women to help. Together, they saved hundreds of lives each year. James had expanded his lands, but more than that, he had expanded his heart. He loved his wife and daughter more each day. Hope was 15 now, beautiful, like her Aunt Grace, but strong like her mother, smart like her father. She could heal a broken bone. She could calm a frightened child. She could stand up to anyone who tried to make others feel small. Mama, Hope said one day, tell me again about before, when you were my age. Emma told the story. About feeling worthless, about being traded away, about finding love and purpose. Hope listened with wide eyes. I can't imagine feeling that way, she said. Good, Emma said. That means I raised you right. At Con, Emma had received many honors over the years. The Queen herself had visited to learn about Emma's healing methods. You are a treasure to this kingdom, the Queen had said. But the honor Emma treasured most was simpler. It was the respect in people's eyes, the love in her family's hearts, the peace in her own soul. One day, a carriage arrived. Emma watched from her window. Her heart squeezed. Her mother stepped out, older now, smaller somehow. Emma hadn't seen her in 5 years. Not since her father's funeral. Emma went downstairs. James and Hope came with her. Mother, Emma said politely. Emma, her mother replied. She looked around the grand entrance hall, at the portraits of Emma and her family, at the signs of wealth and respect. You've done well for yourself, her mother said. Yes, Emma said simply. I have. Her mother's eyes were different now, tired, sad. The sharp edges had worn away. Grace sent me, her mother said quietly. She's getting married next month, to a painter. She wants you there. Emma felt surprised. She wants me at her wedding? She says you showed her what real love looks like, her mother said. She wants to thank you, in front of everyone. Emma thought about Grace. Sweet Grace, who had found her own voice, who had chosen love over duty. I'll come, Emma said. Her mother nodded. Then she hesitated. Emma, she said quietly. May I speak with you? Alone, they went to Emma's sitting room. The same room where they had fought years ago. Emma's mother sat down. She looked smaller in the big chair. "I came to apologize," she said. Emma was quiet. She waited. "I was wrong," her mother continued. "About everything. About you. About what matters. About, Her voice cracked on the last word. "I was so worried about money. About status. About what people thought. I forgot about hearts," I said. "I threw away my daughter," her mother whispered. "The one who was always trying to help. Always caring about others. Always seeing the good in people." Tears were running down her face now. "I was blind, cruel. I hurt the child who loved me most." Emma felt old pain stirring, but also something else. Understanding. "Why?" Emma asked gently. "Why were you so hard on me?" Jade. Her mother was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. "Because you reminded me of myself," she said. "When I was young, I was like you. Too loud. Too caring. Too much." Emma was surprised. "My mother crushed that out of me," her mother continued. "Made me small. Quiet. Perfect on the outside. Empty on the inside." She looked at Emma with sad eyes. "When I saw you being yourself, freely, loudly, completely, I was jealous and afraid. I thought the world would hurt you like it hurt me." "Cut. So you hurt me first," Emma said quietly. "Yes," her mother whispered. "I did. And I'm sorry. So sorry." Emma felt the apology settle into her heart. It didn't erase the pain, but it explained it. It gave it meaning. "I forgive you," Emma said. Her mother looked up. "How can you? After everything?" "Because holding on to anger only hurts me," Emma said. "And because I understand now. You were broken too." "Me too." That they sat together in healing silence. "You became everything I was too afraid to be," her mother said finally. "Strong, useful, loved for who you really are. It's not too late for you," Emma said gently. "You could still find that person inside you." Her mother shook her head. "I'm too old, too set in my ways." "Mama used to say it's never too late to grow," Emma said. She was right about that too. She had seen hope came to find them. She looked at her grandmother with curious eyes. "Grandmama," Hope said politely. Emma's mother looked at Hope, really looked at her. "You're beautiful," she said softly. "Thank you," Hope said. "But I'm also smart, and kind, and helpful. Those things matter more than beautiful." Emma's mother blinked in surprise. "Yes," she said slowly. "Yes, they do." Hope had taught her grandmother something in 10 seconds. What Emma had tried to teach for years. That evening, Emma's mother stayed for dinner. She was quiet mostly, but she watched. She watched James listen to Emma's ideas about the healing center. She watched Hope solve a math problem that stumped the adults. She watched a family that valued minds and hearts more than faces and fortunes. "This is what love looks like," she said quietly. "Yes," Emma said. "It is." We stopped. The next morning, Emma's mother prepared to leave. "Will you really come to Grace's wedding?" she asked. "Yes," Emma said. "I want to see her happy." "And can you forgive an old woman's mistakes?" Emma hugged her mother. It was awkward at first, then real. "We're family," Emma said. "Broken sometimes, but still family." Her mother cried. Then, years of regret and pain and lost time, but also hope. Maybe it wasn't too late. Maybe broken things could still heal. Grace's wedding was beautiful. Grace wore a simple white dress. Her painter husband looked at her like she held the sun in her hands. When Grace saw Emma, she ran to her. They hugged like the sisters they'd always been meant to be. "You saved my life," Grace whispered. "You saved your own," Emma whispered back. "I just showed you it was possible." At the wedding feast, Grace stood up to speak. "I want to thank my sister Emma," Grace said loudly. The whole room turned to look at Emma. "Emma showed me that real love doesn't ask you to be smaller. It helps you become bigger, truer, more yourself." Grace raised her cup to Emma. "The bravest woman I know. The best sister anyone could ask for." Everyone drank to Emma. Strangers celebrated her, honored her. Emma felt James take her hand, felt Hope lean against her side. This was her family now. Not just blood family, but chosen family. Love family. On the way home, Hope fell asleep in the carriage. Emma and James sat close together, watching the countryside roll by. "Do you ever think about that scared girl who came to my door?" James asked softly. "Every day," Emma said. "I'm grateful to her." "Grateful?" "She was brave enough to take the first step," Emma said. "Even when she was terrified, even when she felt worthless." She said yes to a new life. Emma squeezed James's hand. And that yes led to everything. To you, to hope, to the life we built, to the people we've helped, to love. James kissed Emma's forehead. I love you, he said. All of you. The scared girl and the strong woman, the past and the present. Everything. I love you too, Emma said. Thank you for seeing me, really seeing me. Thank you for letting me, James said. They rode home in comfortable silence. A family complete, hearts full, lives rich with purpose and love. That night, Emma tucked Hope into bed. Mama, Hope said sleepily, do you think I'll find love like you and Papa have? I know you will, Emma said, because you know your worth. You know what real love looks like. How do I know? Hope asked. Because you've been surrounded by it your whole life. Emma said. Love that builds up instead of tearing down. Love that sees the best and believes in more. Hope smiled and closed her eyes. Emma kissed her daughter's forehead. Sweet dreams, my precious girl. Emma went to her own room. James was already there, reading by the fire. She looked around their bedroom. Their sanctuary, the place where two broken hearts had learned to beat as one. On the walls were pictures of their life together, their wedding day. Hope as a baby, Emma receiving honors for her healing work. Moments of joy captured and kept. This was her real treasure. Not gold or jewels, but love, purpose, family, home. Pursues. Emma changed into her nightclothes. She looked at herself in the mirror one last time. She saw a woman who had been traded away like unwanted goods, who had been called worthless, who had been made to feel small. But she also saw a woman who had found her strength, who had built a life of meaning, who had loved and been loved completely. She saw herself, finally truly herself, and she was beautiful. Emma climbed into bed beside James. He put down his book and pulled her close. What are you thinking about? He asked. How grateful I am, Emma said, for the pain that led to joy, for the rejection that led to acceptance, for the trade that led to treasure. Do you really mean that? James asked. Emma thought about it. All of it. The cruel words, the lonely nights, the feeling of being worthless, but also the herb garden, the healing center, Hope's laughter, James's love, the lives she'd saved, the woman she'd become. Yes, she said firmly. I mean it. Every hard thing led to something beautiful. God, I was traded for my sister's freedom, Emma said quietly. But I found something better than freedom. I found myself. I found my purpose. I found my home. James tightened his arms around her. I found my happiness, Emma continued. Real, deep, lasting happiness. The kind that comes from knowing who you are and being loved for. She snuggled closer to her husband, her partner, her best friend, the man who had seen her worth when no one else could. The girl nobody wanted became the woman everyone needed, Emma whispered. No, James said softly. The girl everyone was too blind to see became the woman who opened everyone's eyes. Emma smiled in the darkness. Tomorrow would bring new patients to heal, new problems to solve, new ways to help and love and grow. But tonight was perfect. She had found her place in the world. Not because someone gave it to her, but because she had claimed it, built it. She earned it with her own hands and heart. She was Emma. Healer, helper, wife, mother, friend. She was the woman who had been traded away and found her own happiness, and her happiness was complete. The end.